massive, fast-moving visitor to our solar system may have been a probe sent by an advanced alien civilization. Astronomers were excited to discover the interstellar object last year. It was named Oumuamua.
When Oumuamua was first discovered in 2017, it was hailed as the first known interstellar object to pass through our solar system. Its strange, elongated shape and unexplainable acceleration led to countless theories. Was it a cosmic oddity, a never-before-seen type of comet, or even an alien probe? Scientists believed it was on a permanent journey into deep space, never to be seen again. But now the impossible has happened. Oumuamua has returned, and astronomers are scrambling to explain how an object that had exited our solar system has somehow changed its trajectory and is now heading back. This should be impossible according to standard gravitational mechanics. Even more unsettling, it isn't alone. New similar objects appear to be following the same trajectory. This isn't just a cosmic fluke. Something has changed. Whether it's an unknown force acting upon it or something far more intelligent at work, Oumuamua's return has reignited the debate over its true nature. And if it really is more than just a random object, the implications for humanity could be staggering. How can Oumuamua return? The laws of physics say it shouldn't. Astronomers originally calculated that Oumuamua was on a one-way journey out of the solar system, flung by gravity to never return. But something has altered its path. For an object of this nature to return, one of two things must have happened. Either an unseen external force acted upon it, or it is moving with deliberate intent. But here's the problem. Oumuamua doesn't behave like any known space object. Unlike a comet, it showed no gas emissions or tail, yet it accelerated as if it was being propelled. Unlike an asteroid, its path wasn't dictated solely by gravity. Scientists struggled to explain this behavior back in 2017, and now its unexpected return makes the mystery even deeper. If no known force can explain this, what else could be responsible? Even more intriguing, Oumuamua's approach suggests it is not just retracing its previous path, it's entering the solar system from a new angle. This suggests a level of control that cannot be ignored. This revelation raises an alarming question. If Oumuamua didn't just randomly return, then who or what brought it back? The impossible acceleration. What's pushing it? One of the most puzzling aspects of Oumuamua's behavior in 2017 was its unexplained acceleration. Unlike any known asteroid or comet, it didn't slow down as it moved away from the sun. Instead, it sped up, with no visible propulsion, no gas emissions, and no external gravitational forces affecting it. And now, as it returns, the same strange acceleration is happening again. This has led scientists to revisit theories that were previously dismissed. Some argue that Oumuamua might be made of an exotic material that reacts differently to sunlight. But others, including Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, have suggested something more controversial, that Oumuamua could be artificial, possibly a probe from an advanced civilization. If this acceleration isn't natural, then the implications are staggering. Natural space objects don't change speed without an external force acting on them. A spaceship, however, does. Is this just an anomaly of physics we don't yet understand? Or is someone or something controlling Oumuamua? It's not alone. More objects are following the same path. The biggest twist in this already bizarre mystery, Oumuamua isn't alone this time. Astronomers tracking its return have identified at least two more objects following nearly identical paths. This is not normal. If Oumuamua were just a random space rock, it wouldn't have companions moving in unison with it. This suggests coordination. Could these objects be part of a fleet? Are they working together? And most importantly, why now? The synchronized movement of these objects raises the possibility that Oumuamua's return isn't an accident. It's part of a planned event. And if they're coming back for a reason, the question is, what are they coming back for? Elon Musk's warning, we are not ready. As news of Oumuamua's return spread, SpaceX's deep space monitoring systems reportedly detected the anomaly first. Elon Musk, never one to shy away from making cryptic statements, took to social media with a short but ominous tweet. Oumuamua is back. This is big. What does he know? Musk has long been a proponent of space exploration and the search for extraterrestrial life. His warnings about the dangers of artificial intelligence and the need for humanity to become a multiplanetary species suggest he believes Earth is vulnerable to unknown threats. Could he have access to classified intelligence regarding Oumuamua's nature? If one of the world's leading space visionaries believes this is significant, then the world should be paying attention. If Musk is right and we aren't ready, then the real question isn't what Oumuamua is. It's what happens next. Oumuamua's return isn't just another astronomical event. It's a challenge to everything we thought we knew about interstellar objects, gravity, and possibly even extraterrestrial intelligence. Its unexplained acceleration, its new trajectory, and its strange companions make it impossible to dismiss as just another rock in space. Governments, space agencies, and private space companies are scrambling to understand what this means. If this truly is a controlled object, whether alien or advanced technology we don't yet understand, humanity may be on the verge of a revelation that will change everything. So what comes next? Are these objects merely observing us, or do they have an agenda? One thing is clear: Oumuamua's return is not a mistake. The theory no one wants to admit, is it a probe? When Oumuamua first passed through the solar system in 2017, most scientists dismissed the idea that it was anything more than an oddly shaped asteroid or comet. However, some experts weren't convinced. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb made headlines when he suggested that Oumuamua could be an artificial probe, possibly from an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. He pointed out that the object's unusual shape, lack of a visible tail, and unexplained acceleration didn't match any natural space phenomenon. At the time, his theory was dismissed as speculation, but now, with Oumuamua returning and behaving just as strangely as before, the theory is gaining new traction. If it was a probe, its return trip suggests something even more unsettling. It may have been collecting data on Earth, and now it's coming back for a reason. Is Oumuamua returning to deliver its findings? If so, who or what is waiting for that data? And the biggest question of all, if this is an artificial probe, is it alone? The silent watchers. What if they've been here all along? The recent increase in UFO disclosures by governments around the world has changed the conversation about extraterrestrial life. Once dismissed as conspiracy theories, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, are now being actively investigated by the Pentagon and NASA. Many of these UAPs have been observed performing physics-defying maneuvers, instantaneous acceleration, sharp angle turns, and speeds beyond known human technology. These characteristics are eerily similar to Oumuamua's unexplained acceleration. Could it be that Oumuamua and UAPs are connected? If Oumuamua was a probe scanning our planet in 2017, perhaps it was simply the first visible piece of a much larger presence. What if they've been watching us for longer than we realize? If so, the implications are staggering. It would mean humanity is under observation. But for what purpose? Is it peaceful scientific study? Or are we part of an experiment? Intelligence agencies are scrambling behind closed doors. When Oumuamua was first detected, it was primarily a topic of discussion within astronomical and academic circles. This time, governments and intelligence agencies are taking it far more seriously. According to leaked reports, classified briefings have been held within the US government, NASA, and the Pentagon. Emergency meetings were reportedly convened after Oumuamua's reappearance, indicating that its return is being treated as a matter of national security. Why would intelligence agencies be so interested in a so-called asteroid? Some insiders speculate that Oumuamua's trajectory shift suggests that it is no ordinary object. Its movements could indicate a level of decision-making that natural objects do not possess. If this is the case, it means Oumuamua is being controlled, either remotely or autonomously, by something or someone capable of making precise calculations. With governments working in secrecy, the public is left wondering, what do they know that we don't? Is this first contact or a warning? The idea of first contact with extraterrestrial intelligence has long been a subject of fascination, but the reality could be far more complex than we imagine. If Oumuamua truly is an artificial object, then its return is not random. It's deliberate. But why return in silence? If a civilization were trying to communicate with us, wouldn't they send clear signals? Some scientists believe that silence is the message. It could mean one of two things. They are observing us, but do not wish to interact yet. They are testing how we respond. Either way, this is not the typical Hollywood version of first contact. There are no flashing lights, no radio signals, no attempts at direct communication. Instead, we are left with unsettling questions and unexplained behavior. And if silence is the message, then what happens next? Oumuamua's course change, a sign of intelligence? One of the biggest clues that Oumuamua is more than just a space rock is its ability to change course. Unlike an asteroid or comet, which follows predictable paths influenced by gravity, Oumuamua has altered its trajectory multiple times. This suggests active control. Most asteroids slingshot around the sun based on gravitational forces. But Oumuamua didn't behave that way. It sped up without an apparent force acting on it. Now, as it returns, it has adjusted its path yet again, this time approaching from a completely different angle. Scientists are struggling to explain how this is possible. There is no visible propulsion, no detectable force altering its motion. Could this be evidence that Oumuamua is scanning specific areas of the solar system? Or is it looking for something or someone? If this course change is intentional, then Oumuamua's return is not just a mystery, it's a statement. Are we being tested? If Oumuamua was merely an unmanned probe sent to gather data in 2017, then its return suggests that data collection was successful. But what if this is more than just data collection? The possibility that Oumuamua's movements are deliberate raises an alarming question. Are we being tested? Governments and military strategists have long discussed the idea that extraterrestrial life, if it exists, might assess humanity before making contact. If that's the case, what kind of test is this? Are they observing how we respond to an unknown presence? Are they checking if we pose a threat? Are they evaluating our technological progress? And more importantly, what happens if we fail the test? The unsettling truth, if they're not communicating, they might not need to. Oumuamua has returned, yet it remains eerily silent. Scientists have detected no radio signals, no bursts of communication, nothing that suggests an attempt to make contact. If it were a natural object, this wouldn't be unusual. But if it were artificial, wouldn't we expect some kind of message? This raises an even more unsettling possibility. What if they don't need to communicate? What if they already know everything they need to? Advanced civilizations wouldn't necessarily use radio waves or any technology we understand. If they operate on a different level, through quantum entanglement, dark energy fields, or unknown physics, our instruments might not even detect their presence. And if Oumuamua or its counterparts are probes, they could already be inside our systems, collecting data in ways we haven't even imagined. The real question is, if they don't need to speak, are they simply watching, or are they waiting for the right moment to act? The Intercept mission, NASA and SpaceX are racing against time. NASA and SpaceX are racing against time to intercept Oumuamua before it's too late. The return of this mysterious interstellar object has sparked global concern, and scientists agree that this could be the most critical space mission in human history. Unlike comets or asteroids that follow predictable paths, Oumuamua is displaying controlled movements that suggest it is not a simple space rock, but something far more complex. The urgency to investigate it has led to an unprecedented collaboration between top space agencies, with NASA and SpaceX taking the lead. However, the challenge is immense. Oumuamua is traveling at speeds reaching nearly 200,000 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest objects ever recorded in our solar system. Current propulsion technology is not advanced enough to match its velocity, forcing scientists to consider radical new approaches to reach it in time. SpaceX has been working on next-generation propulsion systems, including nuclear-powered and ion thrust engines, but these technologies are still in the experimental phase. The question is not only whether we can catch up to Oumuamua, but whether we should. If this object is under intelligent control, as some scientists suspect, an interception mission could trigger a response. But the risks of doing nothing are just as alarming. If we let Oumuamua pass us by again without closer examination, we may never get another chance to understand its true nature. The secrecy surrounding this mission has led to speculation that government agencies already know more than they are admitting. Some leaked reports suggest that Oumuamua's movements are not random at all, but part of a deliberate observational pattern. If this is true, then the urgency to reach it isn't just about curiosity, it's about security. The debate within the scientific and defense communities is whether sending a probe to intercept the object might provoke a reaction. If this is a probe sent by an extraterrestrial intelligence, our actions could be interpreted as a challenge or even an act of hostility. Some researchers argue that it would be safer to observe from a distance rather than risk direct engagement. However, waiting could also be the worst option. If Oumuamua and its accompanying objects are here for a reason, that reason may not be in our control. Elon Musk has been unusually vocal about the urgency of space exploration in recent months, and some believe he knows more than he's letting on. His cryptic social media messages about deep space surveillance and preparing for interstellar travel have fueled theories that SpaceX has already detected something unusual. NASA remains tight-lipped about its findings, but sources within the agency have hinted that they have been monitoring Oumuamua's trajectory long before its return was made public. The real question is, what will happen if and when we do reach it? If it's a natural object, then confirming its composition will be a scientific milestone. But if it's something more, humanity could be facing an event unlike anything in history. What happens if our probe sends back images that defy explanation? What if Oumuamua responds in a way that confirms intelligent control? And perhaps the most unsettling question, what if it doesn't respond at all, as if it already knows we're watching? If this is first contact, then we are completely unprepared for what comes next. SpaceX is moving fast to develop new deep space probes with AI-driven navigation, designed to adjust course in real time to match Oumuamua's unpredictable movements. The biggest challenge is launching a craft that can accelerate fast enough to reach the object before it moves beyond our reach again. Time is running out, and if the mission isn't executed soon, we may lose our only opportunity to solve the mystery of Oumuamua once and for all. Some experts worry that even if we succeed in intercepting it, we might not be ready for what we find. The possibility that Oumuamua is a probe from another civilization raises ethical and security concerns. Do we attempt to make contact, or do we simply observe and report? Governments around the world are already preparing contingency plans for all possible outcomes, from the confirmation of extraterrestrial intelligence to the remote but unsettling possibility that this could be a prelude to something bigger. The race to reach Oumuamua is not just a scientific endeavor, it is a test of humanity's readiness to face the unknown. The coming months will determine whether we finally get answers or are left with even more questions than before. Whatever happens, this mission will go down in history as the moment we either confirmed we are not alone or proved that we are still only beginning to understand the vast mysteries of the universe. The biggest fear, what if they're not just passing through? When Oumuamua first appeared in 2017, scientists assumed it was a simple interstellar object, an unusual rock that happened to pass through our solar system. But now that it has returned, that assumption no longer holds. In fact, it challenges the very foundations of astrophysics and planetary science. Interstellar objects do not return. Once they are ejected from a solar system, they continue their journey indefinitely, shaped by gravitational forces and cosmic inertia. But Oumuamua is different. It has changed course, accelerated without an observable force, and now, to the shock of astronomers worldwide, it is back. If Oumuamua were just another space rock, it wouldn't do any of these things. It wouldn't shift its trajectory in ways that defy known physics. It wouldn't behave as though it were under intelligent control, and it certainly wouldn't return with additional objects following a similar path. This raises a far more alarming possibility. What if this was never a random encounter? Could Oumuamua's first visit have been part of a reconnaissance mission? Was it collecting data, scanning our solar system, or assessing something about Earth itself? If its return suggests intention, then the real question is, why? One of the most chilling aspects of Oumuamua's return is its sudden trajectory adjustments. Scientists tracking the object have noted that it has begun altering its speed and direction in ways that make no logical sense for a natural object. Typically, comets and asteroids follow predictable, gravitationally influenced paths. But Oumuamua is acting with deliberation, as though it is being guided. And that raises another frightening thought. If it isn't leaving, that could mean something even more unsettling. This isn't a visit, it's an arrival. This would change everything we know about space exploration, our place in the universe, and whether we are truly alone. If an intelligent civilization sent Oumuamua as a probe, then its return suggests something far bigger is about to happen. It means we've been noticed. For decades, scientists and government agencies have debated the risks of alien contact. Renowned physicists like Stephen Hawking warned against actively seeking out extraterrestrial intelligence, suggesting that any civilization advanced enough to reach us would likely view us as primitive, or worse, expendable. If Oumuamua is an artificial probe, what if its purpose was to determine whether Earth is worth engaging with? What if its return means that an advanced civilization has finished its analysis and is now ready to take the next step? If it slows down, enters a stable orbit, or sends signals, we may be witnessing the most significant moment in human history. But the uncertainty is what makes this so terrifying. Are they here to observe, to communicate, or do they have an entirely different agenda, one we might not be prepared for? The unsettling truth is this: we don't know. Governments around the world have already begun emergency discussions, and intelligence agencies are monitoring the skies with unprecedented urgency. If Oumuamua and its accompanying objects continue behaving in ways that suggest intelligent control, then humanity is standing at the threshold of something monumental. One thing is for sure, the world is not ready for what's coming. The final question: what comes next? This is no longer just about an unexplained cosmic anomaly. The return of Oumuamua and the arrival of its accompanying objects signals something far greater. What was once dismissed as a one-time event has now turned into a mystery that science cannot ignore. The implications are staggering. If these objects are following a controlled trajectory, then we are not just witnessing random space debris, we are looking at intentional movement. This raises questions that challenge everything we thought we knew. Are we standing on the edge of humanity's first confirmed contact, with an advanced intelligence? Or is there a far more unsettling explanation? Could Oumuamua's return be an observation mission or a warning? Governments and intelligence agencies around the world are watching closely, but their silence is deafening. Classified reports suggest emergency meetings behind closed doors, with world leaders scrambling to assess the situation. What do they already know? Why are officials reluctant to address it publicly? For now, all we can do is wait. But one thing is certain: Oumuamua's return is not a mistake. It's here for a reason. And whatever happens next will change humanity forever. The real question is, are we ready for what comes next?